Good afternoon, my name is Robyn Hughes Ryman, and during this session I will be presenting the Benesh Ballet ebook series. My sister-in-law, Rhonda Ryman Kane, and I have so far published 3 books in the series, and we are presently working on the 4th. The first book introduces basic ballet positions. The second book, Jumps Without Travel. The third book, Center Work, Repeated Sequences. And the 4th book, Stage Plans, Locations, and Travel Sequences. Rhonda and I set about creating an interactive multimedia resource for ballet vocabulary while trying to introduce ballet teachers and students to Benesh Movement Notation theory. We didn't intend for these books to be used in isolation, but rather in conjunction with Benesh workshops and online courses. The books run using Apple iBooks application, and they run on an iPad. So, to give you some examples from each of the books, as I said before, Book 1 introduces basic ballet positions. So, this one is a theory page, and it introduces the 3 basic signs. The interactive components of the book allow you to highlight text, make study notes. So I'm going to call this 3 basic signs. And then I can go up, see the study card, and use it with my note and the highlighted text. Wow. They can also be used as a teaching tool. If you connect the iPad to a TV or a projector, the books can be displayed in a dance studio. So you can zoom up the notation and you can explain the theory, or you could have your students read the notated examples. This is a ballet vocabulary page. Each of them have a link to the glossary that gives you a definition of the ballet term. It has a sound icon, which gives you, hopefully, sorry, I forgot to check this, that my volume is as high up as it can be. Can't see, but we'll see. The notated example, again, which I said you can zoom up and use in the studio. And the dance forms figures of both the back view and the front view, illustrating what the notation says, and the word notes below explaining what is in the notation. Next we move on to Book 2, and it's Jumps Without Travel. So this theory page introduces the 5 basic types of jumps. So 2 to 2, 2 to 1, 1 to 2, sorry, didn't get rid of the bar on that one. 1 to same, and 1 to other. So the notation is illustrated graphically with the animation. This theory page follows the same interactive format as Book 1, only this time the dance forms figures are actually animated. So again, we do the front and the back view to illustrate the notation. So the student can learn to see it from the back without doing the mental switch, but then also see how it fits from the front. This theory page explains how Benesh correlates to music. So we have the tempo, the time signature, the bar lines, etc. This is where iAnalyze comes in, and thank you very much for Alianne, who introduced me to the program. It's a music program, and so we worked on using it with dance instead. So I took, instead of the music score, put the notation score, and instead of the music track, put the animation track. So the little yellow rectangle will follow along as the dance form's figure is performing it. This is 2 bars of Allegro. It's not at Allegro speed because we played around with slowing the animation down so that people could follow along. There's a slower one coming up, but for now I'll play this one. So to see more clearly, here's an even slower one, and you'll notice that to help, we made the right foot in some cases have a red shoe, so it's easy to see which foot is in front and the back. That's especially good for beating. So this is much slower. This review page is asking the reader to look at the animation and then to match it up with the correct notation. So animation 1 is a 2-to-2 jump, which is this notation. Animation 2 is a 2-to-1. Animation 3 is a 1-to-2. Animation 4 is the only other option, 1 to the same. Did we get it correct? Yes. Voila. Book 3 is center work and repeated sequences. Again, the theory page has the same layout, but the exercises are starting to get longer. So we introduced the notation much bigger, and now we're starting to move to a more normal size state. And the information is starting to get more complex, so we put it into a little information icon box. If you want to follow along, you can read what it is in Word Notes. This theory page is introducing, oops, didn't mean to play her, sorry, introducing jumps and, repeated jump sequences. So they learned jumps earlier without, and now this is the repeats. So it's written first of all without the repeats, then with the repeat sign, and then you can play the animations to show how each of the repeats are done. Music copyright's an issue for us, which is why we've used a lot of metronome beats, but there is a Canadian composer called Richard Maddock who very kindly allowed us to use small excerpts of his ballet class accompaniment CDs to put in the book. So this is an example of an exercise that's repeated 3 times, so it's done 4 times in all. And we'll watch the front view of the animated dancer as she performs with the music. And follow along the notation. The 4th book introduces location and travel signs. We have, in the theory page, we've started with the 9 basic location signs. And then in the appendix, we've given these nice little interactive maps. So I can point it anywhere on the stage and the correct location sign and its name will turn up. So it's another way of reinforcing your theory. And we've tried to take an aerial position of the dance form's figures to visually try to travel forward. So we've given her sort of pointing in the direction of travel. In our iBooks, you can actually search for terms. So if I open up book 2, it's about jumps. So I'm going to try to search, I'll search for the term, say, assemble. It will bring up a list of where that word appears in the book. So if I choose to see assemble back to, if I click on the link, it takes me to that page in the book. I can access the entire glossary of terms. I can scroll through it, search through it. If I pick a term, it will show me where it appears in the book, and then it will bring it up in that page. I can also make study cards out of the glossary terms. So if students want to practice their ballet vocabulary, they can use the study cards, etc. So now I'd just like to open the floor to you for questions and comments.
It's amazing, thank you.
Wow.